Welcome everybody to Freewheel Station. We get like the typical like camera pans through the like showing the three different planets in the Drage system with their various moons around them. And then we get like and pans over to our station, which is like a giant wheel in space, with parts of it that are obviously still under some level of construction, but there seems to be some small amount of traffic going in and out at this point. Um, and then the camera like zooms up under the station, and we see the spot where the wrench is welded into the frame in a corner where it was being used to hold something together, and come out on the other side and have the big logo. And then we come back to a hard tight shot on let's see, on Kib. Kib, where are we at?
Uh, Finalizing things, going over cameras, sitting in the office, kind of like, okay, that's collaborated. All my notes are good. I'm ready to go. What are we supposed to do? Maybe I should go find somebody to figure out what we're supposed to do next. I don't
Is there
remember.
any is there anybody else in the office with
Are
Kevin?
you on the office on the bridge, or are you in the office on the main deck, or on level 1?
Probably on the one on the bridge because that one sounds more fun to hang out in. I want to go.
So
You're in ops then.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume right now that Kurot is in surgery because he had those Order of Convoy Knights to do before they left. And then, so I'd probably be in the office on level 1 because we haven't really been using ops for office stuff recently.
Well, so maybe so you're not in the office is let's see, where are we at? And
So
I'm going to where are you at on
Pyre?
Pyre?
Sorry, I got confused. I was like, who's Pyre? Someone new?
Oh, Pyre, where are you at?
Well, I wouldn't be in the office.
Well, just for some slight bookkeeping, how many days have passed since our thing in the bar?
Let's see.
Because if it's the same day, then like it was already pretty late in the day.
Well, let me just ask you then, how many days do you wait before you decide to take your next move?
Well, we definitely do some preparation work. I mean, that just makes sense. And that's before we left, because we have to at least wait 3 days so that Colovian can come back and be like, what do you mean you're leaving again? I'll be like, it's not my fault. I have swashbuckling to do. Otherwise, I can't pay you an extra 100 credits every time I come back. And if we're gone too long, I'll pay you more than that. All right? As soon as we get through the ranks, Colovian, you're going to be our first actual lieutenant. And that comes with benefits package, fucking access to the fucking panic room, all kinds of things. So, yes, we have something to go do. And if it pays off, we should have information on where the Red Booters base is so we can get rid of them. And maybe then people will be like, they have enough friends and they've killed the Red Booters. Maybe we should just leave them alone for a little while.
Right.
So I'd say we take 3 days to prepare. And then when Colovian gets back, we give her the bad news. I give her that whole speech that you just heard. And then we get on ship and start heading towards the moon of the Time Dragon, which is somewhere near the gas giant. So, that's at least a week. So I tell her 8 weeks max. We'll try for 6.
So, yeah. All
And
right.
we also, of course, let Corad know. And, I really don't want to waste time on it, but so his sister, we do the thing, and let's see. I'm Philip. That's who I am. No. I'm willing to lose 8% so long as demons, devils, and other things that fucking are just strictly 100% evil can't come on here. That'll make you look good. And other than that, please try not to be so deliberately awkward towards some of my favorite people on my ship.
Well, I think she would say, I can probably sign off on the business terms, but I can't promise anything about not making anyone feel awkward. I can help it if some people have hang-ups.
Okay, fine. And we shake hands, and that's that whole thing. We'll skip all the pageantries. And we'll get back to her on a later date. But right now, time dragon. So I go to the casino with Ha and Kib and Death Arms in tow. And there's a knock at your door, Mr. Pyre.
Come and knock on my door.
Now, from outside the door, you hear, I'll be waiting for you. All right,
Yeah.
so anyway.
There's a scene of like you riding bikes along the promenade, and one of you gets to looking at something too hard and falls down. You all laugh.
All right.
Yeah, I'll answer the door.
Hello. Have you had sufficient time to pack for this trip?
Of course. And I gesture over to just like a small suitcase.
Okay. I'm like, now, believe it or not, you think the station is bad. Wait till you see our space shuttle.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
Just come and see. It's easier.
Can I try flying this time? I want to see if I know what.
I think we need 3-4 more weeks, maybe 4 months of me training you, and then you'll be ready for your own.
Okay.
Okay? Maybe after I put the autopilot, you can sit in the seat, okay?
Yay!
Right? Yeah, you can keep memorizing all the dials and, meters. It'll be fine.
So Kip, did you just like meet up with Philip on the way to Pyre's room or something?
Yeah, he got a text message from me that said he was late.
So after a few minutes, I'm like, what? After you kind of figured, what are we doing next? I kind of walked out and I saw everybody else walking, and I was like, we'll just jump in line. I'm not late this time.
Just jump in line.
Right about the time you say that, your alarm goes off.
Strangely, it's not the normal tone. Strangely, it's this tone where there's guys singing about jumping in a line and rocking something or another. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know.
Okay, I believe you. Anyway, this is the pun episode, guys. I hope you enjoy it. So, I'm like, good. You have everything on board the shuttle already, Kib? All the stuff I told you to write down?
Hold on. Yes. Yeah, all that stuff has a check mark next to it, so yeah.
Okay. And you said your prayers at the temple just in case we don't come back?
Prayers that don't come back.
We always
back.
I'll come back. I have like a 70% chance of just being like, ow, I'm dead. You know what? I'm a rhino. I can't believe you shot me. Boosh, boosh. Yeah. So, Maybe not the same day, honestly, but that would be kind of funny. Like, oh yeah, they're completely 100% dead, and then they just get up and they're like, "I can't believe you made me a beret," and then all of them are dead.
You shot me.
But that's enough of that. Like I said, everyone that prays differently, and I just want to make sure Kib had his chance before we left.
I don't know. What am I never prayed before, so yeah,
Oh,
I kind of did it. Sure.
by the way, I forgot to show you something. As we walk by the giant statue of Besmira with the fountain in the front, and I'm like, after listening to some people complain over the last few weeks after we've erected this, I had them install this. And I walk over and I punch in some buttons on a panel, and a button comes out, and it flushes the fountain into space. So everybody's coins get, put where they're supposed to be.
Magnificent.
Right.
Now this is a change I can get behind.
Right? On the same note, Kip's like, I already have measures in place so that when that happens, several small robots go out and collect. No, I'm just kidding. Kip didn't do any of that.
I mean, I
But
could have enact that idea. That's a possibility.
nah, it'll be better if we just let that small amount float away. Some other guy can be the asshole that steals Besmir's coins and gets a god after them. But anyway, yeah, so that's the newest thing I decided needed to happen. And Jester will decide how much money that actually cost me. But anyway, onto the ship. When we get to the shuttle bay, it looks like somebody beat this with a large club. It is the most ancient, decrepit, barely put together. Now, it's definitely been rehauled and refitted and rehauled and refitted so many times, but it'll get the job done.
I did the best I could.
Well, and this isn't your fault. This was Grandpa's.
Does it have does it have something of like an industrial look to it? Like something that's very functional and utilitarian?
It looks like it's as lean as it can be because whoever kept putting it back together had to use parts from a junkyard. So like you see parts from like an A23 and a fucking M74.
So it's
Wow,
it's a
it's a
space
patchwork.
equivalent. It's the space equivalent of a rat rod, only not as cool.
Yes, but it has a gun.
There you go. Nice.
But yeah, that's what you see, Mr. Pyre.
Dear God, that's atrocious.
I look at you and I'm like, out of curiosity, not that we need you to, but do you know how to fly?
Of course I know how to fly.
When you say that, I look at the others and I'm like, you see? Even a gambler knows how to fly. What's wrong with you guys?
I've been learning. I've been
I know.
trying to learn.
I know, but I just want
some
to make sure.
understanding of it.
Yeah, when we all got together and got in this for the very first time to go somewhere, I went, who knows how to fly? And it was just me.
That is actually quite concerning.
And now there's a second pilot if I die, and you have to get them to safety.
And if he dies, I get to try.
Of course, at your heart's content.
Yay!
All right, so we get in, we do proper takeoff procedure, and because we have the time, I take 20 on my piloting check.
Where is the button to engage the? Oh God! Is it? Is that a plastic toy button?
Yes, it's made out of some sort of kid's meal, but apparently it was the same size as the original part, and it still works. And it lights up. Click. You have to take pleasure in the small things when you're in a tin can flying through space, instead of just a tin can spinning around in orbit. But we make do, and one day we'll end up with a better ship. We just need to learn how to do trade better. That'll be in 2 to 4 weeks after Jester gets his new book. Dun-dun-dun. Okay. But so Jester, you just got to roll some dice to see how long it takes for us to get there.
By the way, what what bays do you have on this ship?
Oh, you had to make me go all the way over there. One moment, sir. They're all listed. We have a ship sheet even. Oh, shuttle sheet.
Science lab, tech workshop, one cargo bay.
Okay, all right, just checking.
All right, budget short. We actually have a MK2 mono node, so it's not just a basic computer.
All right, so
And we have S12 thrusters and a pulse wipe.
okay, so
Oh, and
the
biometric locks. Sorry, that's another note.
the security shows that Death Arms is in one of the rooms, the quarters, sleeping right now.
All right, he passed out in the cargo bay again.
He was he must have got here early and got tired of waiting or something. But yeah, let's see. So you guys are traveling in system, and you are. It's going to take you 4 days to get there.
Oh, Jib, we did good. So that means we only wasted, well, 3 days didn't count. We were still on ship.
So.
Oh, Kib, while we're in the middle of this, I look at you and I'm like, did you remember to raise that guy who wanted extra money for his crap story? His rent? Did you raise that guy's rent like I told you to? What was his name? Cobbleson or something.
I think
Cobb
I doubled
McCobb.
it.
Yep, that was what you're supposed to do. Just want to make sure.
Okay, good.
The funny thing is you couldn't find Cobb McCobb in the system as being a resident there. So
That's fine. We still we still double his rent, so.
you just assign a room to him and give him like double rent, whether he's there or not.
Right? He's going to show back up for drinks one day, and we're going to be like, you're 3 months behind in rent, right?
He's gonna be like, I don't live here, right?
But you have stuff in that room, man.
Like, I don't. You can't put
Well, we're
stuff
not there
in there
right
and
now.
claim it's mine.
We had it monogrammed. No,
uh,
anyway, we're not going to stick with this. This is just a silly. Either
Yeah.
way, we still tried to raise that guy's rent. So anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm on the wrong spot. I need
So
overall notes.
what are you guys doing while you are in transit?
21st. We are going to do the preparation so that we have that +2 to our initiatives. Unless someone thinks that they would rather try to get a +2 to a skill they think will be prevalent for this. I mean, I suppose I could do whatever the thing's called. Diplomacy. That'll give me a +11. But I don't think that's going to matter much. What do you think, Pyre? Have you ever fought dragons in general, let alone? You said you hadn't ever met a time dragon, so I'm assuming that meant fight one either.
Yes, I don't think I'd want to by the name Time Dragon, if that was anything to be concerned.
Well, and luckily, one of my many languages is Draconic. So I speak the old ways, and they're not normally stupid creatures, so we can always assume that they already speak 7 to 10 languages as well. But I find especially, at least in lore, dragons like it when you can speak their language. They're like, oh, a civilized person. How strange.
So in these days that we're traveling, I'm gonna do a miniature little map of where we're flying just to make it so we can document where we're going.
That's a whole role thing, but I think we have time to do that at least a couple of days. Jester, what's that called? Map star system?
I believe so. It's going to be in the should be in galactic galaxy exploration, I think.
Okay, let me see if I can find
Page
it.
35.
Damn.
So you have to do a computer check with the DC based on the kind of sensors installed on the starship.
Oh, well then our DC is gonna suck. Because we have budget.
Okay, so if we have short range sensors, it's
And that's what
25.
it is. right. So, what is your Pyre?
Yes.
Do you have skills in computers?
Yes. I am
Okay.
adept at using computers. Yes.
What is your total bonus before you roll?
10. Well, 12.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I
12.
think I added. No, I added in
No,
my
you did
plus
add
two.
it all
It
to
was
all.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and what about you, Kib?
13.
Okay, so either you or I, Pyre, can assist the isekai that's amazing at everything. Now I know why Jester hated Zai so much. Um, but so if we're gonna try to do that, then that is my suggestion. So if we're gonna do this for 2 of the 4 days on our way there, then one day I can assist and one day you can assist, and we'll see if we hit the number.
Okay.
Sound good, Pyre?
Yeah.
Okay.
Works for me.
So go ahead and make your computer assist roll for the first day, and then Kib will make his actual computer roll, and then I'll do one, and Kib will roll again.
24 and 24.
Nice. So that's enough for you to actually get some stuff done on the first day. Now let's see how I do. Let me try today. Oh, yay! Yay! With our shitty
So,
sensors, we do really good for 2 days.
so
Oh,
what does that
dang.
do for you? Sorry, I was doing some typing.
All right. Scott, you were the one that was
Okay.
on the page already.
Okay, you spend the day exploring large parts of the system and making newer sensor tweaks to search for signs of large gravity wells.
Oh, so you're
Oh, on a
detecting.
successful, okay, on a success, you're able to pinpoint 1d3 gravity wells.
All right.
The celestial anomaly downtime gravity's location.
So on 2 separate days, we managed to find 3 gravity wells each time.
Well, that means you basically find first of all the 3 planets you know about, and
Well, of course.
you will find you will find at least 3. You will find some moons as well.
Okay.
So,
So we now finally have an exact number of moons. Now,
no, you don't have an exact number, but you have detected at least some moons.
okay. But anyway, that's our first little bit of trying to actually like
Alright.
map our little universe. But we're still on the 4th day. We make it to that moon. As soon as we actually get within comms distance,
Mm-hmm.
even though I don't necessarily expect for the dragon to have comms, I'd like to try sending universal greetings. And of course, because we don't have any shields, our weapon doesn't have to be engaged. So it definitely will not be. But I will be ready to take evasive maneuvers if something happens.
All right.
Right? And that last day, on the 3rd day, because 4th day happens, is when we do the downtime activities, so we get the +2 to initiative.
Okay.
And that was
So,
what we practiced.
all right. So you when you manage to fly in and get in the like you're looking at the planets. It doesn't take time, or it doesn't take very long to figure out where the time dragon actually is. It's not like they're hiding. They're actually kind of up on like a rather large crest of like a bit of a ridge. From what you can tell, this moon does not have a breathable atmosphere. In fact, it's pretty much it's pretty much vacuum, and it's low gravity.
Hmm. Well, we did take prep time, but we didn't actually know anything about this little moon. And I did not specifically put spacesuits in there. So, can we communicate with it via the comm system, like I was trying to do before?
Well,
Is it
There's
telepathic? Can I send good waves at it and it hear me?
well, you don't see any kind of comms unit with it around it for it to actually be using a comms unit.
Ooh,
Um,
if it allows us to land, I can use Ha because Ha, yeah, doesn't need atmosphere.
well, don't forget your armor also has life support as well.
Yes, but is it still? I thought there was a difference between it and an actual like spacesuit.
I don't think we ever found one, which was what really surprised me.
Okay,
I was like,
well,
why even
either
have
way,
spacesuits if it would be?
um, we're being non-threatening. Um,
I think the main issue with armor, by the way, is yeah, it's a spacesuit, but it doesn't have like ways to move around compared to a spacesuit, which would have built-in propulsion, unless you
Right,
get an
that's
upgrade that
probably
allows it.
yeah.
technically, to a certain degree, Ha is our help there because we can tie off to him, and to a certain degree, so long as we're not in combat, we'll be fine.
I could fabricate it. Got fabricate
We do
tech,
have. Hang on, I gotta get it back to ship.
where I could expend a spell slot to create suits of the spell level.
Oh, there it is. Like I can't find the shuttle.
Well, for that
We
matter,
got a tech workshop. How many
for that,
UPBs do you have on you, kid?
there's also the I don't remember. You also forget. There's also what are they? The gravity
Gravity
belt
boots. Gravity
boots
belt.
and whatnot. If you, I don't know what level those are, but if you have enough ranks, you could, or if you have a high enough spell, you could probably do that.
I'm looking.
What's
Technological
the
items.
exchange rate from credits to UPBs?
1 for 1, but you need
If you
UPBs.
do, you have the tech workshop on the shuttle?
Yes.
Oof, we can't make an
Oh, good.
anti-gravity belt. Level
Okay.
7.
Yeah.
Now back to spacesuits.
I don't think spacesuits are particularly high level. I think they're like level 1 kind of things,
Right.
if I remember correctly.
Oh.
I was gonna see the most I can do is what? 5? No.
Yeah, spacesuits
2
are
times 3.
level 1 and they're 25 apiece. So that's
Well,
something we could have done on day 1 while we were in space.
if it just you want to just build some spacesuits, because
Well, we
Kid
had
was
4 days.
talking about. I was gonna say Kid was talking about using one of his magic hacks to create stuff. But if you
Okay,
guys have,
well, I'm telling him
you
it's
guys
level
have the,
1, so he could do it.
I was gonna say if it also if you guys want to say that while you were that you, or if you guys want to take the time to actually build them here, because you did take actions on the days that you were in actually in drift or
3 of
in
the 4 days, but the first day,
yeah.
technically, we didn't do anything.
Okay.
That was
So
why I was like, we could have built them on the first day.
okay. Well then,
But if he's fabricating
yeah.
them now, that will be faster than, yeah, I
Well,
backtracking.
it'll also be cheaper, but you'll have a much probably a more limited time they for you to be able to use them. Because I don't know how that.
Right, but we'll still have to tie off
Works.
together just in case, because I don't think. Pyre, do you have a sonic weapon by chance?
I have a fire weapon.
Okay, well, if it was a sonic weapon, then concussive blast could get you back down if you needed to. So, but if we tie off after putting on suits, then yeah, we'll. I'll make a white flag too, and I do speak Draconic, so hopefully he understands my dialect. So we'd like to land far enough away, and then come out as peacefully as we can possibly look. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, um, you manage to land, it's still going to take you a bit of a little bit of a journey to get to where the dragon is, but it seems to, but it seems to take notice of you when you land, but then seems to go back to staring off into space. It's
Mm.
big, by the way, really big.
Can you give me an estimation of size based on Earth vehicle?
Gargantuan sized.
Okay, so like an aircraft carrier.
Yeah. So it is a
Okay.
gargantuan sized, and it's got like its
Uh,
scales are like seem to be a shimmery of between like silver with a light green and a light blue, depending on the reflection of the light and where you're standing. Sometimes it seems to be like a silvery blue or a silvery green. Um, and sometimes it seems to be more pure silver, but that's just kind of the range as you're looking at it. Um,
all
it's
right, and we did get the thing's name, right? You can't hear me call it a thing right now. It's fine.
well,
Ard as Desirax or something like that.
um, no, the old Cobb McCobb told you its name was Atralex.
Atralex. Okay. So, Pirate, do you have any diplomacy? Because I know Kib really doesn't.
Um, I have no ranks in diplomacy.
Okay, Kib, do you actually have a rank in diplomacy, or have you just been doing it raw?
I don't have any ranks in it.
Oh dear.
Oh. All
I'm
right.
doomed.
So, Death Arms, why aren't you here right now? You're still sleeping in the dang thing. Not that you have any either. And diplomacy is one of the ones that we can do untrained. So, since you are the king of luck, at least in this little game that we're in right now, would you grant me the happiness of the assist for this?
Oh, I mean, I can assist if you want me to bluff.
Oh, you could
Yeah,
bluff.
that counts.
Yeah.
Is that smart?
We only if this is the time that you roll a one, is it not smart? Give it a shot.
Okay.
All right. See, you're already going to do better than I am at diplomacy, so feel good. So that's an 18, and I already forgot his name.
Cobb McCobb said his name. The dragon's name was Atralax.
Atralax. Okay. So once we're within what I believe to be an earshot, I go, Atralax! We come in peace. We wish only wisdom.
You, there is just the slightest hint of like some kind of see what is there.
And that is in Draconic.
Um,
Oh.
I want to see what
You
it's.
need to write it down so I can look at it, because otherwise I'm going to forget it for the rest of this dang game.
Atralax.
Hold on, I need to look
Atralax.
at.
Atralax. Atralax.
Oh,
Atralax.
okay. So
Wait a
it's
second.
actually you're about to. It there's just the slightest crackling. There's just the slightest sound of crackling, and a small puff of what looks almost like smoke that escapes its nostrils for a minute, but it otherwise pays you little mind.
Fucker just huffed at us.
Uh,
it
well, let's get a little bit closer and see if that helps. Let's see. Where's the best and worst place to stand in front of a dragon?
well, currently it's standing on a ridge, looking off into fairly high ridge, looking off into space. So I'm guessing you guys are kind of coming up the side that's a little bit easier slope and not just a sheer cliff face.
A gargantuan time dragon. It's like Hello, bitch. I don't care that you're here. Let's see. Can I see anything out of the ordinary? Or notice something that would be like out of place? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm looking for things that are unusual. Like, even for here.
I don't think there's anything that necessarily seems amiss here. I mean, for one thing, this is the first time you've been to this moon personally, so it
I give you that.
kind of hard to form a basis for a normal comparison. And you've never met a time dragon before, so not a particularly easy thing to figure there either.
Hmm.
So let's see something. Okay. Anyway, but so yeah, kind of hard to gauge what normal would or wouldn't be here. And the terrain pretty much gives nothing away, and the
Okay.
dragon itself has given very little away, other than um,
Let's
just
try a Labrian this time. And I'll say, damn it, I lost it.
Yo, bitch.
No, 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 no.
And by the way,
If I was going to give up like that, I'd be like, Kib, tell him a story. Um,
Pyre,
So I used to
what do
work
you
for this one dude.
wait, he's trying to talk to Pyre. We'll get back to your story.
Pyre, what is it that you say to try to help Philip when Philip is trying to make contact with?
I'm bad at like diplomacy in real life and that kind of stuff.
Well, this isn't diplomacy. This is
Right. I meant
bluffing.
like
We're
so even worse. I'm bad at
spinning.
being bluffing.
Well, no, you were incredibly good at bluffing according to your results, sir.
Right. That's why I don't.
Just kind of
Man,
It
what
would probably be something like we've heard great tales of your uh like your grand tour achievements or some. It's essentially saying we've heard so many amazing things about you when we really haven't.
technically,
right.
it'd be more. We know that you're here watching one system over because they're messing with the timeline.
Is that a attack that you're going to try?
Hmm?
What do you think?
What? I'm
Okay,
confused.
so hang on. Let's do this right. Grant me goodness, Desmira. That's a 17. I really don't think that's good enough. But we have had days to prepare. So, Jester, is 17 good enough to know that time dragons normally deal with the chronological order of the universe? I mean,
I'd say it's good enough to have some idea of that, but as far as this dragon, figuring out what their particular
mm,
motivations is you they can't even particularly tell exactly. Like whatever this dragon's focus is, it's hard to say because there's a number of things it could potentially be looking at that you don't might not even know about. Like
mm,
there's a situation where there's enough unknowns that getting a read on this specific dragon at time dragons is going to be difficult, but you probably have you like you can definitely know that time dragons basically only really show up when there's something that endangers the timeline in some way.
and that would have been something we discussed on this trip as well. So it's probably knowledge that you would know, sir.
But you probably wouldn't know specific how
Yeah, about the one system over that part now.
you would. I mean, you can make guesswork out of what you think is the time dragon is here for, and but you can't. But above and beyond that, like um, there are enough unknown variables. It could be literally anything that could be endangering the timeline.
I mean, yeah, I just fluff it up as best as I can.
Yeah.
And then at Noladrin, I say, I know that we are wasting your time, even though for you time is infinite. We require a small amount of knowledge, and then we'll owe you a favor in return.
Are you guys continuing to approach?
We got a little closer. I just want to make sure he can hear us. I mean, he's gargantuan. I don't know how well his ears works.
Well, about how close do you get?
1,000 feet.
Yeah. I think that the dragon continue at 1,000 feet. I think the dragon kind of probably continues to stare off into space. Clearly alive because it
Oh
moves
no!
like a
And
normal
we,
like a
yeah.
normal creature moves when it's just sitting and resting.
All right. So, uh, you guys stay here. I'm gonna get a little closer. So I'll go to 800 feet and try again.
I mean, you get to 800 feet or 800, like it kind of like you could swear that maybe that it seems to have like you can sort of sense a certain amount of um it knows you've moved closer, like its body
Yeah,
language pretty much is like.
but I'm
And
also still holding a white flag and have no
yeah,
weapons on me.
but it's you can feel like the difference in notice, and
Yep,
it's
I
still
know.
trying. It it's obviously still trying to ignore you, but you've made that a little bit more difficult, probably.
Right.
Although with that roll, you may not be the one who realizes that. Could everybody else give me a sense motive roll?
Yeah, well, and I would assume something, right?
And while you guys are giving me sense motive rolls, Death Arms, you there?
Did he join? I didn't hear anyone.
All
Oh, he
right.
is in here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right,
So
listen.
you got to the shuttle before anyone else did and got bored waiting for them. So you went and laid down in one of the rooms and slept. And maybe it's been 4 days in flight. What did you do during those 4 days? Because the rest of the crew was basically trying to chart. Like if you peeked your head out enough, you would have realized that they were trying to chart the system while they were flying out here. But you went back to take a nap and apparently they must have come within contact range and landed because you wake up and there doesn't seem to be anybody else on the ship. Did you guys leave a message for Death Arms before you left?
We left a spacesuit on his bed.
Okay, so there's a spacesuit, like
It even has 4 arms, by the way.
yeah. When you wake up, there's a spacesuit laying across the bed and obviously across you.
Okay. So I feel like that I would just like wake up, and I'm assuming that there'll be a chair somewhere in the room that I am in.
Probably.
Okay, so I would put the spacesuit there for a minute and just like go around, check the shuttle, see if anybody was anywhere else. And
Yeah.
then once I didn't see them in there, I would put the spacesuit on and walk out.
All right. You as soon as you step off the ship and look out, you see a rather large. You're ways out, but you see a rather large ridge with a sheer cliff face drop off one side and a relatively gentle slope on the other, and a gargantuan dragon on top of it, staring into space with scales that shimmer somewhere between a silver blue and a silver green and a pure silver, depending on the way the light reflects off of it and where you're standing. And you also see the silhouettes of a group of more or less humanoid, medium-sized creatures, humanoids, tracking up to it that are quite likely the people you came with because nobody else was on the ship. Well, and of course, it's one small creature because Kib's a small creature.
Yeah. Okay, so I would just like go running up to them, yelling, "Hey, why didn't y'all wake me up? What the hell?"
Yeah, so you're gonna come. So you're gonna. It's gonna take you. It's gonna take you a little bit to get to them because they've got a little bit of a head start on you. But yeah, you're heading off in that direction, trying to catch up with them. So yeah, we get Death Arm stepping out of the ship, panning around, seeing the dragon, seeing the crew, and take off at a probably take off running to catch up. So yeah, and I guess, man, sorry about all that. Um, the but you get like the rest of you, you're up there. Um, Pyre, you definitely can tell that this dragon when Philip moved up, this dragon's body language read as kind of the almost a bit of go away, I'm trying, can't you see I'm trying to ignore you kind of feel. Like you've read this before, like you've seen this before because you've seen a few times where maybe an opponent across the table is down on their chips and the girl that they're with or some partner that's with them is bugging them and they're just giving them that I want you to go away right now. I'm busy and I'm annoyed and you're annoying me kind of like deal. Like you instantly flash back to like some game of cannons and black holes that you had with some captain of some small light freighter. You managed to win a couple hundred credits off of a few weeks ago that was just like that was kind of the deal. Like you have this memory of this, like and it was like his first mate that was annoying him. His first mate was like bugging him about like what the money he was gambling with and paying the crew and whatnot, but he was losing and he didn't want to talk about that right there. You're like, this is the same kind of vibe. The vibe of I am busy right now and I'm concentrating really hard on something and you are making it hard for me to ignore you. Like you're like you can't predict what the outcome will be if Philip moves closer, but you do know that if Philip moves closer or if anybody moves closer, it's going to draw the dragon's attention a bit more.
Yeah, I'll give out warning across comms. I'm just like, I would proceed with caution. I don't think you'll like the outcome.
Hmm.
We can only hope that it's not a strike first and ask questions later kind of dragon.
Well, it's a dragon. Do you speak Draconic too, just out of curiosity, Pyre?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah.
I
So I'd
forgot
be
some
like,
of my languages.
well, he is a dragon. He's lived forever, probably, and he'll live forever after we all die. So I guess there's not really much we can do here.
Like I think this is about the point where Death Arms you catch up to the rest of the group. Like
Except for me.
you like as they're talking back of like Philip is a couple of 100 feet ahead of the rest of the group and the dragon is like closer to the dragon while everybody else is kind of standing back. You kind of catch up to Kib and Pyre. Like and you got Kib, Pyre, you guys obviously noticed Death Arms, coming running up. By the way, it is light gravity here, so it is difficult to move in some ways. Like you move,
Hmm.
you're able to jump higher and move faster across the land, which makes it a little harder for you to sort of like get your bearings navigating yourself. And there is no breathable atmosphere here. There's no atmosphere at all. But as you come running up, like what is Kib, Pyre, how do you react when Death Arms finally makes it up to the rest of you?
How was your nap?
Fuck off.
Glad to see you made it,
Yeah,
as it
whatever.
mood as always.
Focus on the dragon, and Kib, you stay back. Like I'd say, move like a couple hundred more feet backwards.
Like immediately coming in, trying to and thinking about security. Right on.
Do you mention that Death Arms has showed up? Anyone?
I don't know what he'd be special for, so probably not.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
But I guess I would turn around and face you while we're having this conversation at Draconic in front of a dragon.
right.
Be like, I'm not trying to hide anything from the dragon. I want him to listen, even if he is annoyed.
Yeah, I
So
think
I'd be like, oh dear God, I thought he was mostly dead at this point. Keep him back there with you if you can. Remind him he's paid to protect Kib.
this is about the time that the dragon whips around and looks directly at you, gets like really, really, really close, like face right up over your shoulder, a kind of deal, and it's like, by the fates, you're annoying, and your draconic is atrocious. Who
You're the one
taught
that
you
said
how to speak?
draconic.
Like,
A copper dragon.
like, she's like, your draconic is atrocious.
Well, I would gladly take
It's
lessons to become better at it.
it is Eterialex, not Atralax.
Okay,
What
well, write that down for
bipedal?
me so I can remember.
She's like, what? Way ahead of you, actually.
Yeah.
The it's she's like what stupid bipedal nuisance came up with that idea?
Which idea? That's out of
She's like
character.
she's like she's like
Oh, okay.
like my
Interesting.
that I
That you were a
Atralax
person of knowledge?
Atralax is the name is a male name.
Okay.
And
So, you know how humans are stupid?
she goes, just humans?
Well, for the sake of this story and trying to keep it short for you, ma'am. Yes, just humans. So, we were told a story by humans, and you know how humans are, they tend to be like, oh, everyone that's important is a boy.
She's like, she's like, she's like a deficiency that she's like a deficiency that not only humans share.
But forgive me, once again, I'm not actually here to waste much of your time. Thank you for finally accepting the fact that we were being annoying.
What do you want?
Information.
Pay no attention to the isekai.
Yeah,
Uh,
she snorts
we
and
were
there's like
told
a sound of
because
crackling.
you've already been here for a ridiculous amount of time that you know everything about this sector of the universe. And we are currently looking to rid it of some of its more annoying parts.
That
And
starts with you, Bite.
yeah, and we were told you might know where the no one would go in the first place. And I actually do tell it better than that. You want me to try another diplomacy check?
No, I think at this point it looks at you. It's like she's like uh, she says, "You want what now?" where no one else would go.
Yeah,
This
in this
system is
sector.
in this sector. There are a lot of places no one in there, no
But could
smaller
still be
creatures should never
survived.
go.
But could still be survived by stupid bipedals. We're looking for the red booters.
You
They're
are.
an annoyance that we wish to snuff out.
She was like, "You're." She doesn't. She's like, looks at you. She's like, "You're as annoying as those." She said, "You're annoying as the fools that live. The fools that live in that. You're as annoying as the fools that on the other side that live underground." Says,
I bow. Actually,
"Go
I don't bow. I'm a
away."
girl. I
She's like,
curtsy and I'm like, actually, that's exactly the information we needed to know. Thank
she's like,
you.
she says, uh, she said, and she's like, oh, and she's like, as long as you're leaving.
Well, and if all goes well, we will also rid you of the noise that those on the other side create.
And she's like,
And then you can get back to your watching. And I curtsy again, and I walk away backwards because you don't turn your back on a dragon, especially one that big. And when I get over to them, I'm like, Death Arms, you did a good job. You finally remembered you're supposed to be guarding Kib. How was your nap? And then I look at Pyre and I say in Draconic, I'm like, she said to get the hell out of here. They're on the other side of the planet, or the other side of this moon. And we head back to the ship. And
Hi, nice dragon lady.
oh, yeah, we managed not to get eaten. Just get on the ship.
Get on the fucking ship.
Okay.
Mm. Well, that was less fun than I had hoped for. I was hoping to roll really well. And apparently, we need to work on our draconics. She said it was horrible.
It was quite atrocious, yes.
I don't know. I haven't actually spoken to a real dragon. I learned from a Raxolite. And they knew because they had a friend that had a copper dragon friend. So it was all third hand. I don't know. But whatever. Let's go and run scans to the best of our ability to see if we can find the thing on the other side of the planet. In fact, battle stations, everyone.
Okay, I didn't know she meant on the other side of the planet. Thank God.
Well,
moon.
moon. I keep saying
Yeah.
planet, but that's
No,
just
I get
because
you.
I'm like giant dragon.
For some reason, I was thinking galaxy. I was like, whew, that's going to be a long track.
No, it's not that bad. But, Mr. Gear, how are you shooting guns on a starship?
Who?
Wow, Mr. Gear. Mr. Pyre. I don't know where Mr. Gear is. Mr. Gear, when did you get here?
Question, what skill would that be?
That would
Piloting,
be piloting or your
piloting.
base attack bonus.
whichever's better.
Well, piloting is a 10 compared to my basic attack bonus, which is definitely
Well,
not a 10.
Yes, and piloting.
It's actually
Your ranks in piloting.
your ranks in piloting, not your total bonus, but your ranks in piloting plus your deck. Yeah, plus your dex mod, I think.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's like page
ranks
329.
plus dex. Well, ranks plus dex would be 5. Unless
Yeah.
we're also allowing me to add operator edge, which would be 7. But I don't
Well,
know.
So either way,
operative's
Applies.
edge doesn't count in this. It's just your ranks in. For
Mm.
firing a weapon, for firing a ship's weapon, it's your ranks plus your dex bonus, and then or your base attack bonus plus your dex bonus, which is
or
why it's
base
always
attack.
which is why it's always great for non-soldiers to carry ranks in piloting, because then you can shoot the ship's gun at least as well as a soldier could.
Mm.
Yeah, then it would be 6 because I have 3 base attack plus 3 dex. Piloting only has 2 ranks in it.
Mm.
Okay, so you'd use so that you could use
All right, so that means. Well, wait. I'm sorry. Hey, Death Arms.
Yeah.
What's your total base attack bonus and dex bonus added together?
Base attack and dex bonus.
And
Okay,
basically,
so
what's your ranged attack bonus? Because it's the same difference.
total range.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, underneath the basic attack, the
Mhm.
ranged is the total is 5.
Yeah. So
Okay, so we'll still have pyre shoot guns. You can be the chief mate, and we'll get there. I don't know if we're actually doing a space battle or not. If we're not, we'll land on the planet and we'll sneak up on them. But either way, moon on the moon. Hmm. Okay, so we take off. We do our best to be sneaky while we're trying to scan or go over the other side. And if we see their base, oh wow, nope, they definitely see me flying.
yep. And give me a computer's check to see if you can figure out where they're at.
Okay, that was Scott, or I mean Kib, and
Kid.
add 1 to that because we have the mono node, so 21.
Kib, you can't get a whole lot. The base is you can figure that there is a underground base. You're able to. It's not even because your scans can penetrate the crust. It's because you're able to catch through a crevice. Like there are some crevices and stuff that go down further in, some cave work and whatnot. You're able to rebound a little, just enough signal to find out where it's at. Um, and you do get and you can't get an exact number of life readings down there, but you're pretty sure there's at least a couple of dozen.
Hmm.
So they're maybe around that area, and maybe is a couple dozen. So hey, we got a good
Hmm.
long fight on our hands. Now,
At
at
minimum, you
minimum,
can't say like I said.
Right.
could be a lot more.
Let's see.
Whatever you want to do.
Trying to remember what all I have.
I mean, I can make it look like we have an army, but that's about it. Close as I can get. Because I have 2 spells that can do a visual and another spell that makes sound. It's kind of fun. I can make people think that I'm not by myself. It's kind of fun. I've thought a lot
If we
of plans.
land and then manage to, can we Okay, you know what I want to do? I want to blow a hole in it so it sucks everybody out. Sabotage. That's the word we're looking for.
Well, I bounced it through that little crack right there. I bet you if you shot that crack, it might do something. That's where I shot the little signal. Well,
You're
not
pretty
really
sure
shot
that
the signal, but
you,
it's
you
weird how signals work. But it goes in and then comes back. But you can try and aim for that and see what happens.
Right, I'm
well,
like shooting swamp
both,
rats with my T16.
well, both of you would know that, and you, Kib, especially having been reading this, that it's not exact the scanning waves that your scanners didn't exactly take a straight path directly to. Firing into the crevice probably isn't likely to hit the base, and from what you can tell, it might not even penetrate your weapons might not penetrate the hull.
Oh, what if we send Soul Demon on a stealth mission to lay some charges while we
Does Death Arms have engineering to be able to place charge?
charges?
Plus, do you have any
Just in him.
explosive charges in the first place?
No, but we do have time. We could fly off. Well, they already saw us. So let's see if we can go hide, and then we'll come up with a slightly better plan from there. How's that sound? Because they definitely saw us. Because I flew like shit. I think I bumped like a fairly large chunk of moon.
Yes, this is one
New
gamble I
crater.
do not want to take.
So we are going to retreat, regroup, and plan from there.
Captain
If we
Runaway.
get followed, then we'll deal with that way. So, is that good with
They,
everyone else?
they haven't.
Self-preservation is always the first thing on my mind, of course.
Okay. They haven't what?
Well, they don't seem to have sent out any kind of response to you yet. I mean, you're pretty sure that that they had to have seen you, but at this point, they haven't sent a response just yet.
Well, with his bluff as good as it is, we might be able to do it the other way. But Kib, I mean, I already have, a glamour projector. So I already have, like, plus 10 to my disguise. And I just need to put on this wig, and look, I'm a whole different person. So, who also happens to be 8 foot tall, I know.
Which, by the way, is just mutantly genetically anomaly, because Librians don't normally grow that tall.
Man, why you gotta body shame me?
I'm not body shaming you. I'm just pointing out that you are an anomaly for the Librians.
Right? I was always good at Eoxian ball. But it's also why I go through the effort to make sure that, I can be dainty as well as tough. So, all of that aside, um, so, Pyre, do you think we can play this off and just land like we're supposed to be here?
Do we know anything
Ooh.
about them or who they are? Are they
Yeah,
pirates? Are they
they're really
traders?
They're really shitty drug pirates. Like they make the knockoff drugs to sell because they're the only ones that sell drugs around here.
Pirates are not keen to be taking strangers, no matter what our story might be.
Okay, so yeah, I still think that we should regroup and go from there.
Like
And that won't take that
I've got
long.
a good bluff and I got a good bluff in disguise, but they're pirates. A stranger shows up, they're gonna be like, take all this shit and airlock them.
Mm. Be like, nah, that Isekai from the Green Planet sent us here. Arr. But so we get out of here. We go hide for the night. We regroup, and then in the morning we start planning because we know the basic area. Today we'll get another chance to like get a better spot and maybe learn some more things. But we're either going to do this as a space battle, which I'm not sure if that's what Jester's prepared for, or we're going to land and we're going to try and do it with, making some charges and then placing them around the place to hopefully airlock them all without having to airlock them all. And then we'll have to barn swallow all the bodies when they float into the surface or float into space to die because we can use those parts.
Right? Necrographs. Weird.
All right, Kib.
Yes, ma'am. What's up?
So we still have just enough that we can make the things that we need this morning, so we can try to do this afternoon. But back to Death Arms. Do you have any engineering? We forgot already.
I do not have any engineering.
Okay, so you can't do it. So that leaves it to me and actually I think let me see. Remind me, Ha. Ha can do them. That's hilarious. So Ha and I and Kib, all three can plant. And Mr. Pyre, do you have engineering as well?
Do you have
I'm not keen on doing any kind of
physical
engineering.
science?
I have
Or
neither.
the other thing.
You're not keen on setting charges, I understand.
No,
But,
when I say I'm not keen, I mean I have a 0 in total.
oh, you don't have any ranks.
No.
Okay, that's what, yeah. And yes, you did very good. You're not keen on it at all. It's not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. So, Kib, Ha, and I, Philip, can place charges. Which leaves Mr. Pyre and
Let me have a second here.
oh, you're looking up rules. Oh, didn't plan on doing it this way, but I also didn't think they'd be here. It is ballsy. Huh. Where's your base? Underneath a dragon that doesn't want to be fucked with? Hmm.
You know
You're
what?
right.
He'd be pissed off if we blew up his planet that he's kind of chill, or his moon that he's chilling out on.
I told him we were going to end the noise. It didn't mean that there wasn't going to be noise, or her, that there wouldn't be noise until we got rid of them. And this will still be the easiest way to do it if we manage to get away with it. Because both Ha and I have stealth as well. Not much, but enough that we could possibly be sneaky while we're doing it.
Stealth is not a complicated thing.
For some people,
Some people
Mm.
look over at Death Arms.
Why you gotta
right?
call a brother out like that?
I mean, he's big and red. I'm 8 feet tall, but I'm more likely to be mistaken for part of the moon than he is.
I do have stealth as well.
But yeah, so the basic gist is we'll go back. I'll take the time to try and plot a better course.
And say, can you take 10 to fly better?
It depends on Justice's willingness to let us take most of the day to plan a flyover. So. I don't exactly know what's going on. I heard him go,
I'm
Oh, there you are.
just looking at break DCs, or looking for break DCs.
Okay. Like I said, we weren't trying to make this overly complicated, but fighting them this way is safer for the people that have not that many hit points.
That might be me.
Let's see.
It's definitely Kib.
Versus bonuses.
That's why I have a bodyguard. He takes the brunt of the hits, and I just go from behind him.
That's fair.
You're like, I found it's easier if my shield can run for me. I just jump on his back.
I don't think that's a possibility. He's not too happy with me. I don't think I can ride on his shoulders.
Well, remember, you're his charge. If you die, he doesn't get paid. Though, Soul Demon is paid through a company that's a front for a front of another front. So that he's not actually on our books. So.
There we are. Strength. See.
Sorry, Justin.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
Eh.
All right. I think I know what I'm looking at here. As it were.
But yeah, so I don't know how much you were listening to while you were doing that as well. So I'd like to take the time to plot the course over that area of the moon since we know just about where we're supposed to be going over.
Sure, take 10.
Okay. And that will make my total piloting for that. No. Sorry, I'm still on Ha. And 17, which is way better than 9. And then we'll use our sensors to try and get a better scan, and then we'll land far enough away that it'll take a little bit of time to get there. And we'll start doing our thing of placing charges properly and see how
Well,
far we get before we're attacked.
first, you're going to have to find a way to get to the base because it's underground. Like,
Right, but we're trying. Everything is underground?
Hole.
yeah, well, you're going to have to find they've got to get in somehow. You got to figure out.
Okay, so we didn't find anything out with our sensors though when we went over this time.
It's probably too small. You're going to have to, you're going to have to do this on foot. So I'm probably going to
Okay.
need some survival checks, first of all.
Nice.
As long as there's not a river.
And remember, we're
Hopefully,
tied off to each other for the most part.
I am.
At the very least, Kib is tied to me.
So, am I with you guys on this?
I would hope you were coming
Okay.
at least as backup.
Well, this is gonna suck. I have no survival.
Hey, the bonus is once again you're tied off. So,
Yeah, my survival.
and
is...
for once, I have the best survival check. Man, and Korat's not around.
Bluff is my survival.
I mean, if we were doing stealth, I'd wreck all of you. But in stealth,
Oh, you're gonna need stealth here in a bit, so it'll be fine.
Well,
Also, get that big shiny rifle out. You might need it.
well, you're able to, which, are you guys trying to be stealthy at all? Because if that's the case, then I'll need some stealth rolls.
I'm not stealthy today.
I
Kib is
believe
slightly more stealthy. Haha!
Death Arms, you and Pyre are fairly certain that you be able to keep yourselves well hidden, except Philip and Kib are just obvious as hell. Like
Oh,
they're the ones that kind of blow everybody's cover. um, but at least as near as you can tell, anyway. Basically, you guys know that you'd probably be pretty okay in this situation if it weren't for everybody else.
Told you I was good at hiding. I'm hidden. Nobody can see me.
Yeah.
You're the least of my worries. Whoever
Yeah.
Hall is.
ha!
Yeah. Ha
Right.
is Philip's drone.
All right, and this is the reason that Hall makes noise. He misses, but he shoots at Kib for some reason. Apparently, Kib has angered him.
Okay.
Hey,
Haven't
that's
done anything today. What is your problem, Mr. Thingy? Ah,
No.
all right. So there's
No.
shh, you can't see me. You can't shoot at me.
a shot has been fired on the moon's surface. We may have drawn attention to ourselves, but that's what we're going with.
Yeah. You yeah. However, you do find a cave however, Philip, you do find a cave that upon, sort of looking closer at it, you're pretty sure you see the glint of metal back there. Um,
All right.
and you see a control panel, and you're like, oh, this must be the door that they go in and out of, like
All
if
right.
they go out on foot or whatever.
Let's see. That's funny. Ha's almost as good at computers as I am. Um, we sent Ha in to look for traps. He can do that.
And then I need Haas perception.
And then engineering.
Well, perception first. All right. Let me look at this. So, I think.
And he does have a camera, so we're watching as he goes in the cave on my comms.
Ooh, sorry.
You're fine.
Let's see. So, let's see. Where are we? Trying to find where I was looking at. Should be in here somewhere. In this same. That's environment. That's looking at. Is it back this way? Yep, there it is. Let's see. What the DC is here. I gotta find the right deal here.
Take your time. Ha's waiting. Ah.
Nope.
He doesn't find anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll look at my notes and stuff.
Out of character knowledge says the GM's voice says that we just didn't find the traps because we didn't roll well enough. But, so let's proceed with caution. Meat shield, protect Kib. Go first. I mean, death arms, if you would. Death arms, do you take scout? You have to hear the words, otherwise it doesn't happen, and I go first.
Yes, I will take lead, not because you said so.
I asked, I didn't demand, I didn't order. I even said please, and if I didn't, please. Alright, so it'll be death arms. So Haas first, then death arms, because Haas already over by the terminal. Then me, and then Kib, and then Mr. Pyre in the back.
Works for me. First to get last in the line, first to escape.
May Lady Luck smile upon you this day if it does not on us. And we go forward.
All right.
Alright.
You find yourselves in the
can we-
cave facing a door with a control panel at it.
I want to make a perception check. And I didn't do nearly as well as Ha, so I don't see anything that Ha didn't. And I'm like, Kib, let me help you.
What? Oh,
That was my help check for your computers to work on this terminal.
right. So we push this, and this, and it works, right?
Both
23?
of you need to give me a reflex save.
Wait, I have. Let me look. I think I have a special ability for that.
Probably should have had us all roll perception when we got in there. Whoops.
Okay, so my 15, I guess, would have been a 16 because I never added in bypass. You're skilled getting inside a computer or electronic device, +1 to computers and engineering. And then, yeah, that's the only thing I thought I had that would actually help. So it didn't help enough. So you said reflex save.
Yep.
No.
All right. Kib, you take 25 points of damage. Philip, you take half of that.
Of
13.
what?
As you guys lean in and start working on the controls, and electricity shoots out, and it shoots out through both of your tools and arms, and fry the shit out of your synapses.
Okay.
Back to the line now.
Back
Alright.
to the line.
Wrong button.
Ha. Ha plugs in. And
Hold on.
also remember that Ha is oh, go ahead, I'm sorry. Ha's model is resistant to electricity.
Do what?
I said that Ha attempts to hack into the system because he also has computers, and his specific drone model is resistant to electricity.
Does that give him like a resistance number?
Yeah, it should have like
Yes.
resistance
Or is
10,
it
15,
immune?
20.
So that means that'll reduce the amount of damage Ha will take here.
Let me confirm I have this stuff written down. Let's see, those are all guns though. We're getting there.
Note to
Go
self: buy a
focus.
back scratcher.
You'll just lose it.
Probably.
Alright, let's see. Apparently I didn't write it down. I'm ashamed of myself. So drone.
Yeah, I can use my chair to like push my arm into position, dislocate my shoulder. You know, the normal stuff.
Remember it's at the bottom. Storm Scout drone. Da, da, da. Compact, resilient. Survive deadly weather and even direct lightning strikes. Dexterity, conductive plating. It just says resistance energy. It doesn't give a number there. Let's go up to the top and see if it says something there. Bonus skill units.
Because sometimes they generalize the description rather, and they generalize the description and give you like the actual specific thing elsewhere.
Okay, Storm Scout drone is on Interstellar Species, page 24.
Interstellar Species 24.
All right, audience at home. This is the first time this has been important.
I'm searching as well. What? Why would you tell us resistant to electricity? But then Archives of Nethys isn't really helping either.
Right, that's where I am. Though, just so you've seen
Oh, it's equal to your mechanic level.
Oh, so 4.
So it will resist up to 4 points of damage.
Yep.
It gets a saving throw for the reflex save to see if it can. If you're trying to disable the trap, there is a different DC for that.
Okay. Well,
That's
after
So
12.
So 12. So it's going to take, and it reduces that damage by, same roll, by 4 points.
All right. Okay. Let me get that all written down. All right, we're good.
So it'd be a computer to disable the trap as well. There's no other option.
Engineering.
I'll disable it. Be like, no, let's get this out of the way first.
Well, Ha just touched the console, and this is the action this represents the action here. So Ha gets a chance to disable it. If you want to take another shot at it, you risk getting fried again.
No, Haas definitely unplugged himself and is cursing an infernal as he flies behind Death Arms and is basically like, I'm done. I'm done.
Well, Ha still gets the engineering check to see if he was able to disarm the trap while he was taking the damage, is what I'm basically saying.
Yes. 24.
Ha manages to disable the trap,
Ah, beautiful.
but takes a lot of damage in the process of doing so. Yeah, so yeah, but you manage to disable the trap.
Right. At this point, I open my backpack and I shake it at Ha, and I'm like, Ha, get inside. You're done for the day. And he curses at me in Infernal and says something about wishing that Kurod was here.
Like, I could bend that thing if you want. Make him feel better.
He peeks back out of the backpack, and it's the closest he's ever gotten to an actual death glare, as he's covered in, black, and sparks are flying out about him, and he goes into sleep mode.
All
And I'm
right.
like, zip him shut, and I'm like, I'll fix you later. And we go through the door. Murder arms. Death arms. Take the lead. Kill bad guys.
There is a long when you still haven't opened the door though.
Oh,
You
okay.
you still have
You
to.
have to do
That's
the
the trap.
keypad.
All right. You
Yeah.
try this time, Kib. Open the door. Engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
enough?
Yeah, you manage to figure out where the door is. Wired, and you're able to you get into you take the control panel clean off and get into the wiring and figure out where and manage to figure out where the actual mechanical pieces that control the door are at, and you're able to tweak the pressure, tweak the doors sort of glide mechanics to open it open, and it opens up with and it would normally open up with a whoosh, but this kind of sound, maybe if it made sound in the vacuum, but it's um but you get the feeling that it probably would have made a different sound if you could hear sound in this way. um but yeah, you're able to you see a long hall you, and it's a set of steps with what looks like a set of steps and possibly an elevator or lift of some kind. Um, but you're and it looks like this place has been sort of um, you can only imagine what it might have once been used for. It's obvious that these people probably didn't put this in here themselves, or if they did, there's somebody with a lot more money behind them who probably could have hired better help if they wanted to. Which, the Drage system in the Derelium Frontier, who the fuck knows? I do, but that's because I'm the GM. But
Bum, bum, bum.
but yeah, you're kind of looking, and you do hear
Oh,
once you get the door to close, Kib gets the door to close behind you, and the hallway pressurizes. You do hear that there's alarms going off across the base. Like
Oops.
there's nobody on the intercom, but maybe you kind of are getting some static from some static, and you can almost be assured that there's probably radio chatter on some frequency you guys aren't tuned to.
all right, Kib. As soon as we get to the next panel, we'll do an assist, and you try to hack into their shit and see if you can cause some havoc. There's my health check.
Well,
For
the
when that happens.
first well, the first
All
thing
right,
is
if I got ahead of
getting
myself, then we'll forget that number.
yeah. So the first thing is looking down this hallway. It opens up into a larger it leads to what looks like steps down into a larger chamber. You see what looks like it's probably some kind of lift or elevator system. Like the walls are here are and you can tell that the walls are made fairly thick here.
Mm.
but they're but this is all but you know but you also notice that this construction it's kind of hard to actually give me a physical science or engineering check. Those of you who have it, see what you can make of the.
Yeah. If this is their only entrance, it might not be a bad idea just to blow this and collapse it on them.
Well, that would only prevent them for a little while, and we have to assume that there's a shuttle bay somewhere. So I do agree that we should place charges both here in this hallway and on whatever makeshift elevator this is here. Before we go a little bit further in and see if we can find their shuttle bay, and that's probably where we'll see the first team of them because they'll be trying to get their ships ready just in case. That would be my guess. But so we will place some charges. You want engineering checks for each one of us?
Yeah.
Whoever has it. Yeah.
Hey, Kib, you too.
Those of you who have it and you're placing charges. How many charges do you have?
We made
do you spend to build?
20. Because we figured it was going to be a fairly big base. But that's still not necessarily enough unless we place them correctly to do what we want it to. Now, I open back up the bag and I'm like, Kib, I know you said you could take a nap, but we need you to go put a charge up there. And he starts swearing in Infernal
Kib.
again. Or not Kib, Ha. And he starts swearing Infernal again, and you hear his motors kick on, and they sound really rough, and he's spitting, oil smoke. And he takes off and flies up to the top of the elevator shaft and places a charge, so long as that 16 is good enough.
What mark of charges are you using? What
MK1.
kind of charges? MK1 breaching charges? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Slap a mending on your paw.
It won't work because Ha is mine to fix alone. Otherwise, I would gladly accept that, and Ha might even like you better for trying, but it won't have the effect that we want it to. Ha survived, but he's basically almost dead. So he's going to go back in the backpack every time now. And I wait for him, and he gets back in. All right, and then we move on.
So I need
Death Arms, you're in the lead, so your perception check is the most important one. Come on, Death Arms, you're gonna get to fight. Oh, all right. So he's 30 feet ahead, like he's supposed to be, and we are all, we're not we're covering each other as well as looking around. So we're gonna be 30 feet behind him. So if he trips something up himself, we won't see it until
as far as 30 feet we can go.
Yeah.
It's cramped quarters, probably.
Sure enough. We're going to stay as far back as we can without being too far back. So my perception check for that will be... I see nothing! Kip sees nothing! Pyre sees more than nothing, but still nothing. Apparently we were so happy that we set those charges, we just stopped paying attention.
Well, the lift system is you're going to need an engineering check or a computer check to operate it if you intend to use it to go further down into the base.
Okay, there's not stairs past that?
No, the stairs lead down to a room with the lift in it.
Okay. Okay. That was where we were confused. In that case... Oh, no.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, you push this button to go down, this button goes up.
Right.
Might be a little loud, but hey, it'll go down.
You are able to hotwire the system, Kib. You're like, screw hacking this thing. I'm just going to hotwire it.
Out of curiosity, as we're getting into this, is it a full top? Is it something where Kib, for example, could push the button as it starts to go down. The rest of us jump on top and hold on to the cable.
Um, no, this is not. No, Like
All right.
it's big enough that you got but it's big enough because it's a lift, not simply an elevator that you could all like fit on it. It'll be a little
Cramped.
cramped, but you guys will all
It's going to
fit.
be even more cramped because I want everybody to be, ready to fire the second we get down there. Like, they're not going to be surprised, but we're going to try.
I stand on Death Arm's shoulders.
All right. So I need.
See, you might be able to hold on to the light that's on top. They won't even see you.
Is this like an elevator that has space beside the doors?
Well, it's kind of like I said, it's less an elevator and more of a lift. So maybe like two of the sides are more or less solid, and but like the other side is not solid, but the front and the back aren't solid. So it's kind of like when you come down, either you're going to wind up someplace where you face it where the opening is facing the opposite direction of the opening that you got onto the lift, or it's going to be facing both directions. Um,
Essentially, it's a good spot for cover.
Yeah, behind Death Arm.
I was going to say not terribly so. I mean, you could try to use the side panels as cover if somebody tries to shoot at you from those directions, but if they're shooting at you from either the front or the back of the lift,
Right,
relative to where you're standing. But like the side panels might be of some use depending on where they're shooting from, but not if they're shooting directly one way or the other.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I look
pull
at
the
Kib.
whole rocket thing from thing standing on Groot's shoulders.
Okay. I look at you, Kib, as we're going down, and I'm like, all right, Kib, remember the deal. If you die, I put you in the corpse recycler. If I die, you still get to put me in the corpse recycler. If Korai was here, he'd be like, I'll put you both in the corpse recycler.
Got you, ma'am.
As for you, Pyre, you're going to make it.
Of course, I will. As he's shaking his head, like, "Oh no, what have I gotten into?"
All right, you have your gun in hand, and you're just kind of a little bit shaky. But as soon as it starts to pull to a stop, you calm down, and you're like, boom.
You don't know where it came from. I didn't originally have it.
Okay. Kib, as you're watching, it's clear that somebody has trying to make some kind of attempt to stop the lift, but they're unsuccessful. You hotwired it, but good. Like you realize,
nice try.
You realize that somebody is trying to computer their way through the problem, but since you hotwired the thing, you took apart the actual mechanical parts, so the computer is not going to do them any good, because it's basically saying lift stop. You're getting a message that messages across the control panel that the lift is supposed to stop or should stop, or that there's commands for it to stop that are coming in, but because you've got that panel below it ripped off and wires hanging out and you've hot wired it, there's no way for those messages to have any fucking effect, to do what they're supposed to do.
All right, everybody. So we got people trying to stop us from coming down, just so you know. But I'm so awesome at what I do, they can't stop it. So I have complete control of this lift.
All right. So are we still a round away from making it to the bottom?
You're probably. Let me see. You're probably getting close.
All right.
It's a bit of a long drop.
No, I understand that, but Hog's the only one that has sticky bombs. So I open the backpack and I'm like, Hog, give me one of your sticky bombs. And he says, fuck you and Infernal, and pops one out the side. And I pull the pin and drop it down, trying to hit the DC of 15.
Well, you drop it down onto. Great. Everybody needs to make reflex saves then.
Wait. Yeah. I thought you said that we could see down below, so I could drop it beside so that it would actually hit that
fall
floor.
Down.
Yeah.
Alright, you drop it over the side, it hits the floor,
Okay.
and goo splatters all over the place.
All right. So it's not gonna matter. That's what you're telling me.
Well, goo splatters all over the place.
Right, but it doesn't get any of the gas. Because you said there was
Oh,
someone on a computer trying to do something. No,
that
okay,
does
so we didn't see that guy. My apologies. If
say,
that's the case, then
he's
I
not
just hold the sticky bomb. I
he's
thought literally we could hear and see them below trying to use the computer.
no. The only way Kib knows is because Kib's looking at the computer panel and seeing the computer commands for it to stop go across the computer
Okay,
command. But because
that's
he's
where
got
I
the
got confused.
wiring hooked up,
I will
ripped out.
still take the sticky bomb from Hawk, but I will not throw it yet because I don't see someone for it to hit.
All right.
All right, and then I zip him back in. I'm like, you stay there.
All right. As you get to the bottom, as you manage to get to the bottom, there is you hear a lot of voices, and at the moment you come down, like you hear a lot of rifles, do that clack clack, from both sides, and you are hereby ordered to stand down and relieve yourself of all your possessions. You are on Fred Booter property. And close scene. That's what we got for tonight. I know it's a short episode, but I do not have the maps for this. I didn't expect you to get this far tonight. So, um, so
Well,
I suppose, um, let's go ahead and get sign-offs.
well, player's choice first.
Well, player's choice. So,
All right. Tonight you guys saw David the Gnome play Philip Defoe, and like he said, I'm a mutant. No, I'm just a very tall baby. Um, but I play here tonight, and we're probably all gonna die, but it could be fun. Well, except for Pyre. Luck's on his side. Um, this is all that I play in currently. We try to keep it fairly fun, at least for the players. And our guest star, of course, is here, and I'm super stoked about that still, and sad that there's only 2 weeks left before he has to go.
Yeah.
But with that said, who wants to go next?
It's your boy Sassy and Nasty, aka Pyre, aka the guest star, aka the not so lucky one. I don't know where you're coming up with this luck.
You just need to pretend everything's a card game, and you'll be fine.
Well, look, I'm a temporary character. If I have to surrender and join the pirates, I fucking will. Let's go.
And that's fine.
You got me here playing Pyre. You can catch me on when I return after my little foray into training. Once I return, I'll be back in Over the Horizon as Gideon Sunborn, the strength-based ranger with a heart of gold. Strength-based ranger with a heart of gold. I think I said Glanger. Um, and you can also catch me on Fridays in Yakshas, Sin, the wonderful mech pilot who has an AI that was built to destroy the entire world banking system. And now a broken AI that was left abandoned and that was meant to pilot a giant ship. That's going to be my new companion. You can also catch me on Saturdays in Lands of Iboria as Duramog, the alchemist witch alchemist witch orc, not rogue. Wow. Who is pretty sure we're all going to die here. You're all going to die down here. As this dragon's probably going to come back and eat us. And that is me.
Yeah.
alright.
All right, I'm Scott. I played Kib. I don't know. Kib's just awesome, and he didn't die by a dragon like some other characters I have did. Anyways, Mighty did. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. Which brings me to I'm in Lands of Ibaria. I got swallowed by a dragon. Well, I was in its mouth last I knew. We're not sure what's gonna happen with that little cute little cat person. Um, because he flew away with me in his mouth. So you guys come next Saturday and find out what happened to my cute little cat character, please. Yeah. All right. That's it.
All right. Who
So
we got left?
Okay. So I am Soul Demon. I played Death Arms, the uberly strong, stealthy character. And I am in Lands of Iberia. I will, guaranteed, to be there the 24th of June. Mark it on your calendars, everybody. I will be there.
All right.
Awesome. We got anybody else?
Not
Is
tonight.
that it?
That
Oh,
is.
That would
We're
be
ready
you.
for you.
Yeah.
That's me then. Okay. Let me have a second here. I'm about to have a step behind where I need to be. I'm a little out of it here. Where am I going? All right. I'll take care of bookkeeping after the show tonight. That way we don't hold things up with big well, we're make sure that Nightheart knew saw what we were we're doing here. Oh, okay.
He's listening.
Yes.
Is he?
Good.
Well, in any case, well, I guess if nothing else, Sassy, you're in the same house.
Yeah, I'll book it
The
upstairs.
right. All right. Well, so as far as it goes, I am the Just the King Zerat. You can catch me here on Monday nights for Freewheel Station. Currently, it's the only thing I'm doing on the right now. We do have. I guess I can at least announce who the Player's Choice Award is for tonight, and it is Kib. Kib, you get an extra 50 experience points, and I'll post the rest of the XP for the session on the on chat after we're done here. Outside of that, tune in next week. It's bound to be a pretty crazy episode in terms of you guys are right in the thick of it. In any case, I guess let's get a bring out the dragon and get out of here. Bring out the
Bring out
dragon!
the
Bring out
dragon.
the